Danessa, girl, you did something. Hey kitties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Marilyn and I'm bringing you all things of beauty, fashion, lifestyle. So if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe right now. Okay kitties, so we have another beauty video. I've been doing quite a few beauty videos back to back, but I got my hands on this palette. This is the new Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. It is the defining neutral palette for eyes, brows, face, lips. Okay, so all of those things can be done with this palette, and that is the reason I was very interested in it. And because it's from Danessa Myricks, she's typically like a never miss type of gal. Okay, she never misses when it comes to her makeup products, ever. Okay, now first of all, the packaging for this is very high quality, as it should be. Okay, it comes in this, the box itself is just a pretty, you know, cool bronzy colored box, and then you have the actual palette, which is, this is just so gorgeous. Let me just show you here. Such a pretty palette, and it just has the groundwork defining neutrals here, and then when you open it up, it has a large mirror, which I love. It has this big mirror here. I don't want to blind you, but this is the mirror that it comes along with, and then it has all the shades. It smells so good. Something about it smells good. I think it's the material used for the palette to me that I like the way it smells. But these are the colors. As you can see, I was already playing around in it because with this video I wanted to do a tutorial, so I want to make sure I'm familiar with the textures and what we can do with it, you know, before I got here and started showing you as if I already know. Okay, because this is not a first impressions. My impressions were chef kiss, blown away, never misses this lady. Everything that she does as far as like her palettes or anything that she really creates is very innovative. Very innovative, and it's very different from every other brand. Okay, to me, normally her palettes are very multi-use, which makes it valuable, because if this was just an eyeshadow palette, you know, it's just kind of like, okay, I wouldn't buy it. I typically don't even buy eyeshadow palettes. This retails for $65, and normally I would walk past an eye palette that was in that range, because eyeshadow isn't something that I'm crazy about. I like more so complexion products, but this you can use for brows, you can use for contour, you can use to set, you can use it for eyeshadow, you can use it to create lip color. So it's a multi-use palette. If you are a professional makeup artist, freelance artist, this in your palette would be literally gold, and it would save you so much time, so much space in your makeup bag. So if you are a professional when it comes to makeup, this is something that you may want to think about getting, okay? Or just go ahead and get it. Okay, so in the palette, the larger squares is what's called a velvet pomade. Now this, when you touch it, it feels almost like a velvety sort of cream. However, when you apply it, it applies like a powder. I don't really know how she does that, but innovation is the word, the key word when it comes to Danessa Myricks. Okay, so I don't even know how they did it, but it's the best texture. It's so great for eyebrows. It's so great to contour with and shape the face, the eyes, perfect. And then it has, each color has, each square pod or whatever this is has the corresponding color in a fixed powder. Okay, so this is an actual like velvety cream or velvet pomade, and this is the side that has the fixed powder. These are removable, so you can just go in here, you can remove it. It's like a magnetic palette, so if you go like this, this is removable, so you can replace the pan. I guess she has refillable pans. That would only make sense. So again, super innovative. The colors are gorgeous, so I'm going to try to do a nice look using as many of these colors as I can in many different ways, so you can see all the things that you can get out of this one palette. All right, so on my face right now, I have this. If you don't have this yet, you need to go ahead and grab it. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I have the shade Deep Glow. So that's what I have on my face right now, just to give it a nice, you know, radiant finish, so the makeup looks nice and glowy. And I also have my eyebrows glued. Not glued, but the brow glue by NYX. That's what I brushed through my brow hairs just to lay them down. So that's what's on my face right now. And I also have a little bit of Laura Mercier setting powder. I normally put that like right in this area where I typically get very shiny, where I have larger pores. I just do that prior to putting on my makeup to smooth it out, because again, I have oily skin. So anything that can help combat that, I'm gonna go ahead and take those steps. And I also have on a matte primer. Okay, this is the primer that I have on. This is by Fenty Beauty, and it's that matte, I forget the name of it, the Pro Filter. Here it is, Pro Filter Mattifying Primer. So that's what I have on. So we're gonna go ahead and do the entire face. So I'm gonna apply the foundation. I'm gonna speed through that though. Okay, so I have on just the foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my brows now, and I'm gonna use the palette. The shade that I'm gonna use for my eyebrows is the shade Bark. It's like the perfect brown. It has a little bit of warmth to it, so it's not too harsh. It applies so good. So I'm gonna use that shade to fill in my brows. All right, so this is the palette close up. I just want you to get shots of what it looks like when I sort of glide it through the product. It's so creamy. Do you see that? And then when you put it on, it applies like a powder. Very strange, in a good way. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows. Make sure I wipe some of it off of the brush to make sure it applies smoothly. So I'm just gonna trace my brow. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. I'm just gonna trace underneath, like so. Nothing dramatic at all. And I'm gonna sort of flick the product upward into the brows. So it just fills in the areas that are maybe like a little bit sparse, so it can look more even. So this is the brow. You can see this side is filled in, this side isn't. So now what I'm gonna do is, because right here looks a little harsh to me because of that line, I'm gonna use a spoolie and just sort of comb through everything to fade just the beginning of the brow so it doesn't look so harsh where I started the line. See, so much better. And this is also just brushing the product through my eyebrows, but look how that looks. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now over that powder, over that, the eyebrows, I'm gonna use the corresponding shade in the Fix powder. And I'm just gonna lightly just tap it over it, just like a little. So those are the brows. I'm going to go in this color that's called Mirage. It's like a light brown color. I'm gonna go in the Fix powder. Just tap this brush in there. And I'm gonna set right underneath my brows. Just set that concealer. Okay, so the brows look really good. Like, I love how full they look. And look close up at the texture of the eyebrow after having the pomade as well as the fixed powder inside it to set it with. Such a nice, clean brow. I like that. So I'm just gonna apply my concealer really quick. This is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I recently got a new color, which is the shade Chestnut. I'm just gonna use that to highlight under my eyes, and then we'll get right back into the palette. So the under eye and the center of my face is highlighted. I use my setting powder to set right away. So now we can go ahead and get back into the palette and finish up the face. I'm going to start by defining this portion of my eye, and I'm going to use the color Harvest, which is like a more of a reddish brown. I love a color like this in my crease. It really just warms it up. So I'm going to start with the Velvet Pomade with a small blending brush, and let's see how that looks. Yes, perfect. So it's a perfect color to warm up the crease. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in right here and just build that crease and define it even more. This goes on so smooth. I don't know if you guys can see. The pomade is just like, oof. Okay, so look at this eye in comparison to this eye. No definition. It's kind of like flat, like, and then this eye, such a beautiful warm brown color, perfect for my skin tone to define the crease. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that on the other side. Just going ahead and just sort of following the bones direction when it comes to defining this part of my face. Do you see that? How much more defined it is now? This color is perfect for that. The texture of this is just like, it's just so buttery. Super pretty. I'm also going to bring this color down my nose as well. I'm going to use that to, should I use a different tone? I'm going to use that same color to define down my nose. Just lightly bring it down. I'm barely even touching the skin, and it's, yeah, perfect color. In the crease, I'm going to go in with an even darker color just to define it more. I think I want to do a little bit of a wearable smoky look. So I'm going to go in with the color Sculpted, which is a darker brown. And I'm also going to still use the pomade. I love the way this blends. Just going to go right here on the ends of the eye when it comes to that dark color. Okay? And just sort of buff it inward. See? Okay. So you can do an eye look with just the pomade. You can do the pomade and the powder, or just the powder, because each of them are velvety soft and they blend so nicely, as you can see. Okay. So let's try to see if we can use the color Harvest to add some, like a bronzing tone to my cheeks. Let's see how that works out. So we're going to go in with this color. So pretty. So pretty. put some on the temples to add further definition. And just bronze. I prefer bronzing more than like contouring. Bronzing is a lot more blown out. It's not as definitive as contouring, and typically the color is a lot more warm toned, which I prefer. I really don't. A true contour is like a more of a cool tone, which I prefer more of a warmer tone, at least on me. Okay guys, so for the eyes, I think I want to go for this color called Core. This shade here, let me go in a little bit closer so you guys can see. Core. So I'm going to go for this color. And this, I'm going to go straight into the powder, the fixed powder, and just tap my brush, see how much picks up. This has turned out to be such a cute, sultry fall date night look. So I'm just patting that on. Now, these shadows do not take much work when it comes to blending them out because they're already so buttery, which is a plus. This coming out so, look at my face, my skin. Oof. Let me just move back. So how do we look so far? My face looks so defined, like so defined. The eyes are so pretty so far. Danessa, girl, you did something. Okay, so I want to bring some more light to like this part of my eye. So I'm going to grab the lightest shade, which is called Sandstone, and I'm going to grab the powder. And I'm gonna go into this part of my eye to sort of highlight it. So I'm just gonna use the same brush and just tap it in here just to highlight it. Do you see that? I know you see it. Perfect. All right, so now let's do a wing liner. Of course, I'm gonna use the darkest shade first, which is tourmaline or tourmaline, I'm not sure. I'm gonna go into the pomade and create a wing, a little baby wing. Okay, so let's go here. All right, so right off the bat, this isn't super black. It's more of like a softer black to me. I guess if you apply more, it may look darker, but this isn't as black as a liquid line at all. All right, so now I'm gonna grab a small detail brush and I'm gonna go into the color Harvest, which is this color here. I'm gonna grab just the powder and sort of smudge out the line that we created, just to make it a little bit, I don't know, softer. So you can see that it sort of smokes it out a little bit. This. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply my lashes and I'll be right back. And just like that, I'm back with the lashes. This looks so good. Oh, so let's go ahead and move on. I'm gonna do the blush. I can't wait to get to do a lip combo with this palette, but let's go ahead and do the blush, which is by Danessa Myricks also. This is the Golden Hour blush. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with a brush. I'm just gonna tap it in here and apply it to the cheeks. Where's my... The mirror in this palette is, because it's so large, it's like the best. I'm so glad that it has a mirror. So just tap a little bit on our cheeks. I don't want too much blush. Okay, so I'm going to finish up the eyes by smoking out the lash line some more. I'm going to use the colors Harvest. Let me just show you guys. So we're going to do Harvest, and we're going to mix, what was the other one? Oh, Harvest and Core. These two colors is what I'm going to use on the bottom of the lash line. And I also use the black color to get a little closer to my waterline, just to define the eye even more and give it more of a smoky look. Everything, okay? And oh, I'm sorry, I'm using the powders, the Fix Plus powders, to do the bottom lash line. Okay, so while that powder kind of just hangs out, I like to, when I'm completed with the face, I do put a little bit more setting powder because it does get kind of lost, just to further highlight that under eye area, give it a new fresh look, you know, or freshen it up a bit. So let's go ahead and get into the lip because I'm really excited to do a lip combo. All right, so for the lip combo, I think I'm gonna try Harvest. Should I do Harvest? Let's start with Harvest and see how that lines lip. If I want to define it more, I'll go in with the color Bark, which is the next brown shade next to it. So let's start with that here. Let's try Harvest. Let's see how this looks. Get a little closer. Yeah, so Harvest is not really giving as a lip liner. Well, no. Let's try a darker shade. Let's try Bark. All right, so it's good to start out. For my complexion, I'm going to start out with this one, and then I'll soften it up with Harvest, because this shade is deep. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far, really pretty. So I'm gonna grab Core on my finger. That's the same color that we did on the lid. I'm gonna try that on the lips and see how that looks. It should be a pretty nude shade for me. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with another shade. I'm gonna do Mirage, which is that light brown that I used to highlight my brow. I'm gonna put that just in the center, okay? So let's do that. Okay, and of course I'm gonna put a gloss on this, but this is what it looks like. Really pretty, a really nice nude. Okay, so the gloss I'm going to use is called Topless. This is by Sugar Scoop Beauty. Everything will be linked below. Sugar Scoop Beauty is my small business. These are handmade glosses by me, okay? And these do not miss. They don't miss. Non-sticky, glossy, glides on like a dream. Never misses, okay? So I'm going to put that on. Okay, so I'm going to go back in the palette. I want some more of the Harvest brown. Just going to go back in. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. I went ahead and put my earrings back in, but my face is giving you everything you need. That palette really is giving you everything you need. I did my eyes with this. I bronzed my face. I did a lip color. I did my eyebrows. My eyebrows are really good. The eyebrows is really good. Like, look at the eyebrows. The eyeshadows, the velvet pomade blends so nicely. I really like the velvet pomade on my brows, my eyes, on my face. You can use the powders to set it. You cannot set it. It just, this is such a nice palette. Like, if you're a makeup artist and you do a lot of bridal, so friend, let's talk about it. Should you run out and buy this palette, you should have brought it already. That's how I feel about it. You should have brought it already. Now, if you are a minimalist and you don't like to have just a lot of stuff, you don't need a bunch of bulky palettes, this, and you like neutrals, of course, this is an everyday palette. This is a night out palette. This is a birthday palette. This is I'm getting married palette. This is it's my man's birthday. We're going on vacation. This is an essential palette. It does so many things, and just in this one, your brows are in here, your bronzing powder is in here, your eyeshadow is in here, your lip color is in here. Hello? Hello? Do you see my look at this bead. So I give this a 10 out of 10. I would buy it again for sure. Hey kiddies, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. Definitely expect to see another look with this palette. Definitely expect to see this quite a few times on my channel, because my lip color is in here, my eyeshadow is in here, my bronzing powder is in here, my bronzer is in here. It's in here. Okay kiddies, hopefully you have already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments. Don't forget to come back, because that's the point. You gotta come back. And I'm doing a look with this for sure. I want to do something a little darker, a little bit more smoky, but I enjoy this palette thoroughly, and this is, again, an essential. You need it. Okay? You need it. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.